I'm open for questions from anyone. I know that Heckler sent you some, Jody, but we will. Anybody in media have anything they want to ask? I guess I started thinking about retirement 3 years ago. I wasn't sure exactly when to do it or how to do it, but it's something we've had conversations about it, both my family and friends, and with the administration for several years. But it really came to a head this summer, and I think it's the right time. I don't know that there's ever a good time, but I think it's the right time. I feel like I could go a couple more years, but, I don't want to be a Bobby Bowden or a Joe Paterno. I don't want anybody running me out of here, and when I leave, I want to feel good about here, and I want here to feel good about me, and I think it's the right time. I think it is the right time. I told the team last night after practice. I told them, and this would be me looking at them, I thought they were stunned. I think many of them knew retirement was someplace in the future, but thought it was someplace down the road. Despite the fact that on TV the other day one of them called me an old school and an old man, I think that it stunned them. And yet I think that they're young men, they're resilient, and I talked to them about it and told them why, and told them why I was doing it now. It seems foolish, or it seems out of character to do it at the beginning of the season. Usually people do it prior to a season, or they do it after the season. But with the state system method of hiring someone, it's a cumbersome, time-consuming process. And I've seen, for example, Millersville, when Gene Carpenter left, suffer for years trying to get it right with guys who are hired late, don't get spring ball, don't get recruiting, and you can't make up that process. So when I started to think about retirement, I talked to the administration that whenever I decide, I'd like to do it so that we can be seamless in the transition of power and seamless in the transition of the program, that it doesn't lose a whole recruiting class in spring ball. It was important to me to leave the program in good shape. And you say, why? Well, it's not so much about my legacy. It's more about the kids. The kids that we recruited here now that are here on campus deserve the right to expect the best that they can get, and I want to make sure they get it. No, not really exactly. I mean, there's not one thing you could go put your finger on. It just came to me over the period of time. I really had set up in my mind many, many years ago to do it when I reached age 60. Well, I'll be 62 after this is over, and so it's taken me longer than I thought I was going to do. But there was no singular event. It's more of a culmination. I've had surgeries in the last couple of years, and I've had some physical disabilities, problems, but none of that keeps me from coaching. It just makes life a little interesting. So there is nothing to point a finger at and say this is the last straw that broke the camel's back. It's a culmination of wanting to leave the program in good hands, and then wanting to do some things that I had never done. I want to ride the motorcycle on a trip in the fall. I want to go fly fishing in the fall. There are things I haven't done. I want to go to a Division I big-time game and see the game in the stands. Now, I've been to several Division I games, but I mean, not in the middle of the season. So I'm looking forward to doing some things that, you guys have already been doing. And so, this will be the first Labor Day weekend off in my life since I started playing football. And it's only because we have a bye. It's not because, if it hadn't been a bye, I'd be working Saturday and Sunday. And we're not even off Monday. We'll be at work Monday. But, it's time. It's just time. Okay. I think everybody that's involved in athletics can identify with that. Whatever their season is, the grind of this season, steals from your family, it steals from your life experience, and it steals from your quality of life. Now it adds other ingredients to it, other pleasures and experiences that you can't put your finger on really, but that made your life really worthwhile. But there's still that thing you want to go experience some other things too. Yeah, it wasn't in my mind at the time. I was too pumped up from the season, too pumped up from the experience of that to be able to sit back and say, "Oh, this is a great time to go." You know, I know on ABC or CBS that would have been the great, great end of the movie. But it's not. It's really about the day-to-day work. It's about the people. It's about the long-term recruiting. It's not all about the season in terms of retirement. But the season last year was so great that the high lasted for a long time, So I'm not sure that answers your question, but okay. Yeah. Yeah. People ask me that, and there is no really one event. I mean, I think of winning a state championship as a high school coach. I think of a game with Susquehanna at homecoming where we came from a 27-point deficit with 4 minutes left in the game to win on the last play of the game, kicking the extra point with no time on the clock. I think of last year's season here. I think of watching John Kuhn break my record that stood in the Pennsylvania Conference of 6 touchdowns. He got 6 touchdowns in a game, and Jim Perbula and I held the record for 5. And being able to be his coach and watch him do that was, extraordinary. There's a ton of different experiences that, like I said, that when the things that are taken away from you by the job, there's these things added on the other side that more than balance it out, and they're great experiences. And I probably need to sit down and write a bunch of them down because I've probably got about 50 or 60 of them. But I have not. I made the announcement to the team, and I did it last night at it must have been around 5:45 after practice. And this morning when I came into work, Christy Term was the first person I saw at 7:45, and she was saying congratulations. So the word gets around. But I have not. I have an email sitting at my desk ready to hit send to all the alumni in my email address book, but I wanted to make this announcement publicly before I did that. To me, it was the team first has to know. Then we put it out there generally, and then I'll take care of the individual parts. Well, the economy's so bad that I might have to find a job. But if I do, I don't mind bagging groceries at the White's. But I have said to people, down the road when I've done some things and a couple years away from it, if I miss coaching, I'll go and volunteer at the high school or Division III or anywhere it'll take me just to be involved in it. So I'm not running away from football necessarily. I'm just running towards some other things. And if I miss it that bad, I'll come back someplace. I'll be like a bad penny. Bill, that's one of those things you really feel very good about, very warm inside about seeing kids go on and fulfill a dream that very few people ever get a chance to. And I've been at some schools where we've had I probably have, I don't know the number, but I might have 15 kids that I've coached that have played NFL football over the years. But I'm really thrilled every time I hear about a kid that comes back and tells me what he's doing in life. I have a football player of mine who's head of the FBI explosives lab. I've got another guy who's a sheriff, and a guy who's a school teacher, a guy who's a principal. I mean, I get a lot of warmth out of that one. When they come back and tell me that they had success in life, I don't want to take credit for it, but I feel like maybe we've put something into that young man that made him able to do what he's doing. Certainly didn't do it for him. They had to earn everything they got with us. But I look at their life and I see they're doing well, and I think, I had a small part in that. So that's probably a bigger thrill than seeing John do the Lambeau leap, But I like seeing the leap. Okay. Thank you all for coming. Thank you.